Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is actually a recap of Microsoft's Windows 10 event today. Today is January 21st of 2015, and Microsoft did announce Windows 10 a few months back last year in 2014, and then they had another event today announcing some more new features. Now, please keep this in mind. They did noted that these aren't finished builds, but they're letting us know what they're currently working on. So let's first start off with some of the recaps from their last event, and as well as some new things here. Now, as far as upgrade is concerned, whether you're using Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, it is a free upgrade, but only to these users. For Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 users. Alright? So for those of you guys who are just running regular Windows 8, you could go update it to Windows 8.1. I did do a video on how to upgrade from 8 to 8.1. Go ahead and look for that video. It is a free upgrade because 8.1 apparently fixed a lot of things that a lot of people did not like or appreciate in the initial release of Windows 8. So you can upgrade to 8.1. Now, as far as smartphones is concerned, Windows 10 will be coming to smartphones that is running Windows Phone 8.1. Now, keep this in mind. This isn't a free upgrade forever. This is only available for the first year that Windows 10 is even out. So, once Windows 10 is released, you have a year to upgrade to Windows 10 before you have to buy the operating system and install it. Alright? Now that I think about it, maybe that might not be the same for phones, because phones, from my understanding, you can't install an operating system on them unless it's some of the older phones back then. And of course, they got a start menu, the traditional start menu found in Windows 7 and the previous versions of Windows, and you can actually bring those up full screen so you can see all your tiles and then other menus out there, as well as an updated Action Center. Now let's get on to the new features that Microsoft has been working on, and one of the first features they talked about is Cortana. Now, you guys don't know what Cortana is? Well, first of all, the name came from a video game, Halo. For those of you guys that play Halo, then you get the idea. And Cortana, think of this as more like Siri from Apple or Google Voice by Google, but this is Microsoft's version. Alright? And when you're in the operating system, it's built into the taskbar. By the way, I do apologize. If you guys see me looking at my screen here, I do have my notes here, so I did apologize. Forgot to mention that earlier. So it's built into the taskbar, and the way you find it is by looking for a small icon that looks like a microphone. And of course, it's a digital assistant, and you can basically ask it questions, search the internet, you can check the weather. You can actually use Cortana to open up documents and then play music, so it's pretty much similar to Siri. But I feel like it's a little bit more advanced, unless if Siri could do all these things. I don't quite recall. Now, how is Windows 10 gonna run on these smartphones, these Windows phones that manufacturers have been producing? Well, Microsoft demonstrated this using the Lumia 1520, and basically they showed like some of the settings, and it was a cleaner settings menu, and they actually integrated Skype for messaging, and you can switch between conversations, so you can go from your actual cell messages to your Skype messages, and then you can pretty much switch back and forth with a movable keyboard, and that was pretty much it. I don't know too much about how Windows Phone runs on the devices because I've never used them before, so I can't quite tell you on what it's like to upgrade those devices to Windows 10. Now, they announced a brand new Office for phones and tablets. And what's included on these devices with Windows 10 is Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. And basically some of the new features was that there's a new ribbon at the top, and PowerPoint is updated, and it's got built-in wireless printing, so if you have to print documents wirelessly, you can do that. And Outlook has the Microsoft Word engine built into it, and from my understanding, Office for Windows Phone before, or right now, wasn't as good as compared to iOS and Android. But at the same time, I'm thinking it kind of sucks either way, because from my understanding, iOS and Android, you had to pay for Office 365 unless if you use a different alternative. And of course, they talked about the Photos app, and basically it was redesigned, and all your photos will be pushed to OneDrive. Alright, Microsoft has announced a new browser. So for those of you guys who are familiar with Internet Explorer and you definitely hate it, me myself included, or some people actually like Internet Explorer, but most of us, from my understanding, hates it. Spartan browser, I don't think you'll be hating it as much as you hated Internet Explorer. So it's basically a new web browser Microsoft has implemented, and they have this thing called the noting mode, which is basically where you can draw all over the web page, and you can comment, scribble, and share notes, whatever. So basically, you can take notes as you are on the web browser. Alright, and it's got a much cleaner look compared to Internet Explorer, and Cortana is integrated in the address bar. So if you're looking at the address bar and you type in a URL and you don't want to type out what you want to search, you can actually hit the button and Cortana will pop up, talk to her, and then go ahead and do what you gotta do. Alright, so Microsoft has talked about a little bit about gaming in Windows 10, and they have an Xbox app that'll be in the operating system, and it's basically where you can voice and text chat your friends on Xbox Live in Windows 10. And what's cool is you can play one another across the Xbox One and Windows 10 versions of the game called Lionhead Studios. Alright, so there was a developer of the game that came to the event and demonstrated Lionhead Studios, and she basically played the game on the Xbox One while the other person was playing on the PC running Windows 10. And what's nice about this feature is Xbox One owners can stream any games from their system on wireless networks, apparently, to Windows 10 devices. So, you're on your Xbox One and you want to play on your computer, apparently you can do that. And of course, now that's just going to depend on internet bandwidth, how good of an internet connection you have, or wireless, what kind of security. That's just all things to keep in mind if you're going to do something like this. But that's actually pretty interesting there. And you can control the games on the PC and tablets, and possibility you can use the Xbox One controller if they're compatible. Now, this was an interesting product that I was going to say Apple, that Microsoft has announced, and I didn't even know they were actually going to talk about this thing because it was sitting in the background of the event. Microsoft Surface Hub. What is it? This is an 84-inch 4K display. You got that? 84 inches with a 4K display. Now, I know there's 90 inches out there, but I'm surprised that Microsoft would create something like this, but it features dual cameras with microphones, and it has support for a speaker and a stylus, and it's going to run a modified version of Windows. This is basically more used in the office, so let's say if you're hosting a meeting, then you're going to be using something like this. And when I first thought about it, I was like, did Microsoft make a TV? But no, apparently this is another device running Windows 10, and basically meant for the office purposes. Alright, so if you guys are interested in virtual reality, virtual technology in general, then you might have heard of some things made by Oculus or whatever virtual reality products out there. Well, apparently Microsoft has done something about that, and they're calling it Windows Holographic, and they're saying that it allows you to experience holograms, and the product or the hardware that they announced is called Microsoft Hololens, and it features see-through high-definition lens. And the way they were demonstrating it in the event was they had one of their colleagues come up on stage, and then she put the Hololens on, and she was making certain gestures to move around virtual objects that she sees, but we don't see it in real life. However, they were able to show what she was seeing by putting those lenses on, and it just looks kind of weird, but amazing at the same time. So that was pretty much that Microsoft has announced as far as more features is concerned about Windows 10. They did not announce a specific date when Windows 10 will be coming out, but they're saying that some of these features won't be released or won't be available for months, like 3, 4, or 5 months. However, if you are an insider, there's a new preview available next week. So you might be able to try these features out if you are an insider, and go ahead and sign up. I mean, it's free. I did it, and that's how I got into the program. And go ahead and test out some software. Now, as far as the phones are concerned, they're going to release their first build in February for the phones. So for those of you guys that have, like I said before, a Windows Phone 8.1 device, you can put the build on there and try out Windows 10. Now, don't expect it to be anything crazy or very smooth, because there is going to be bugs in there no matter what, because this is basically beta testing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, nothing else has happened, but I'm very excited for Windows 10 to come out, and I can't wait. So that's it. What do you guys think about these features? Do you think that Microsoft is copying Apple by taking their version of Siri and then calling it Cortana with a few extra things? Do you think that Windows 10 looks awesome on the phone, or does it look like crap? What do you guys think about the new Office Photos app, Spartan browser, as far as or the games, how they interact with each other? There's tons of stuff that Microsoft has announced. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below, right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.